the same place. I'm talking about setting up this.
I love it, but I was hanging out still while she's listening to me. And he goes, he wakes up and goes, that's it. It's like, so he knew you would be all like that.
We'll call the meeting to order and we'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I want to welcome everyone to the school board meeting this evening. Remind you that we are live streaming this event, so welcome those who are joining us on the web as well. To start the meeting tonight, we'll entertain a motion to accept consent agenda items. I have a motion by Travis. Do I have a second? Second by Chelsea. Any discussion? All those in favor? 7. Next, we'll ask if anyone is present who would like to speak to any item on the agenda or any other topic. Hearing none, we'll move on to old business. We have some Neola policies for approval.
Yes, asking for approval of this group of Neola policies.
Entertain a motion to approve those policies as listed. I think everybody's had an opportunity to review.
So moved.
I have a motion by Cheryl. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by, oh my gosh. That was a wrong call. Welcome to the board. Any discussion? Yes.
Just turn that.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor? 7-0. I'm so sorry.
That's fine.
All right. I know, right? Next we're done under programs. We have an athletic handbook.
I'm just asking for approval for our athletic handbook. This will be used K through 12, and our athletic directors will use this for training of all workers.
Perfect. We'll entertain a motion to approve. I have a motion by Mary Lynn. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Pat. Any discussion? All those in favor? 7-0. Next, we have some human sexuality curriculum.
Yes, I'm just asking for approval. Just a reminder that we, Clarity provides this instruction in 6th, 7th, and high school. They have updated their curriculum to be aligned with new legislation. You can check out the curriculum on the website I Decide For Me. You can call me if you have any questions about it. And just a reminder that parents can opt out of this if they would like to. And I'm just asking for approval.
And Carrie, I know you mentioned several things, but you did ask for feedback from parents.
Yes.
When we presented this.
Yes.
So again, the curriculum update will entertain a motion for approval.
So moved.
I have a motion by Pat. Do I have a second? Second by Mary Lynn. Any discussion? All those in favor? 7-0. And again, that website, idecideforme.com. If you would like to review the material, parents are able to opt out. Okay. Next on the agenda, we have a Panther Online Academy update.
Yes, this is just an inform. As of today, we have about 20 students. We have 20 students signed up. We started out between 40 and 50 that were interested, and several of those have decided to stay in person. So as of today, we do have 20. And anybody still interested, we'll accept we'll still accept them until about the end of September.
Okay. So again, registration is still open for that.
Yes.
Does anybody have any questions? This is an inform item. Hearing none, we'll go down under finances. We have a R1 update.
Yes, this is an update from the couple meetings back. We engaged Kelly Davis of CSI Advisory, and she's here to present the information that she has taken care of.
Good evening, everyone. I wanted to give you an update on the 401A and the retirement programs that the district currently offers. So if you want to go to the next slide, just to give you an update of how we got here. This is something that multiple districts in the state of Indiana have been exploring for a few years now. And really what they're looking at is typically when you had a retirement plan offering for school districts, it has been a multiple vendor situation where the 401A, which is the employer contribution, is going into one provider, but then you have multiple other providers that the employees can choose from for their 403B. And for many years, this was a legal requirement that it had to be that way. Legislation in past years have changed that, and now school districts are moving to a single vendor model, which is typically what you see in the private sector. And what we've seen some of these other districts do, and some that are neighboring to Jennings County, is that they've seen a reduction in their fees, they've seen an ease of administration on the staff, they've seen increases in enrollment and participation, and they've seen a number of benefits to going to the single vendor model. So this is something that the board approved the district to proceed and look and evaluate, and that's what we've been doing. If you want to go to the next slide. So pending that approval, we sent an RFP out to 10 different vendors that have a great deal of experience in the public school sector. Out of those 10, 5 responded with a full response to the RFP, and of those 5, 4 were interviewed in person a couple of weeks ago with the JCCTA executive team here to hear those presentations. What we found with the RFP process, combined 403B and 401A assets, there's just shy of $29 million in those accounts. These do belong to the employees of the district. MetLife administered the 401A, and they were one of the administrators of the 403B. Corbridge and Voya were the other 2 administrators of the 403B programs. There's about 1,000 participant accounts, so this includes existing active employees as well as employees that have left employment or retired over the year. And what we've seen was that it was an average of 1.93% is what the employees were paying in fees. So if I had $100,000, just for easy math on a Thursday night, I'm paying just shy of $2,000 a year in fees for my program. So again, we went to 10 different vendors. We had 5 back. The 4 finalists were Corbridge, which was an existing provider, Equitable, which was a new face, Empower, which was a new face, and MetLife, which was one of the existing ones. And after the 4 presented, if you want to go to the next slide, they presented for 45 minutes. The JCCTA executive committee voted unanimously to choose Equitable as the new vendor. So when we look at Equitable's fees on an all-in basis, we're going to be saving the employees about $350,000 a year in cost savings. So that will be spread out among all of the employees, but it is a significant cost savings that they'll be seeing as a result of this. So the next steps, if you approve to move forward with Equitable as a single vendor, they'll begin the paperwork process. They will hold the legal plan document going forward. Today, MetLife holds that since they're the 401A vendor. They'll hold that going forward. All of the 401A assets will transfer over to Equitable. They'll go through that process. The 403B assets, because those are employee directed, employees will have the option to stay with their current vendor or move to Equitable. So they will not be made to move those existing balances. They will get the option to do that. But that's something that they'll each have to decide once we get to that point. And then Equitable will continue to work with the school district on the transition until everything's up and running from an administrative capacity as well.
And a side note, all new employees will be put on 403B. If they want 403B, that will be with Equitable. That's part of the single vendor package thing, but that's just for the new people. All the old people will, like she said, will stay where they, if they want to, stay where they want. Any questions, or Kelly can answer it, I guarantee it. All right, in light of no questions, I'm asking the board for approval to adopt Equitable as a single retirement vendor for the district pending legal review.
So moved.
I have a motion by Travis. Do I have a second?
Excuse me.
Second by Pat. Any discussion? All those in favor? 7-0.
Kelly, thank you very much.
Next, we'll move down to new business. We do have some Neola policies.
Yes, so this next policy update group volume is very large, so I've been breaking it into sets. So this is the next group of those, and if you have any questions, please reach out. This is just a first reading in form.
Next, we'll move down under programs. We have certified staff evaluations.
So an update of last year's evaluations, a breakdown of each category. Highly effective was teachers at 61%, effective was 38%, and ineffective was 1%. In your package, you have the updated staff evaluation form that the committee's been working on since last year. We made some changes in the spring, and then House Enrolled Act 1002 caused us to come back together and make some new changes. We have shared this also with JCCTA, so any suggestions or anything, reach out to me, please.
Again, that's an inform. The next item on the agenda is also did anybody have questions about that? Okay. The next item on the agenda is also an inform. This is an enrollment update.
So this is day 2 of school. So for day 2, our enrollment is 3,587 students. From where we left last year in May, that is 1 student less than where we left at, which seeing stabilization of enrollment during that summertime is a very exciting thing for us. We were very hopeful and happy to see that. It is from last year's day 2, 117 students less. Which we did anticipate, goes along with what the demographer did predict. So I will keep you updated. Typically, we see enrollment continue to increase over the next couple weeks, so I'll bring some more numbers back to you in August, again, in the next meeting.
Thank you, Nikki. Anybody have questions for Nikki? So next, we are down under professional staff. We have some recommendations.
Yes, please. Asking for the following recommendations to be approved. Leslie Barton, Jennings County High School Family and Consumer Science Culinary Arts teacher. Matt Cates, Jennings County Middle School SPED Parapro to MVE SPED teacher. Brianna Caudell, Hayden Elementary teacher. Peyton Moore, Jennings County High School SPED teacher. Peyton Moore, Jennings County High School volunteer football coach. Brad Morris, Jennings County Middle School boys soccer coach. Tom Felis and Tim Poor, CDL licensure program adjunct instructors.
We'll entertain a motion to approve those items as read.
So moved.
I have a motion by Kurt. Do I have a second?
I will second what's his name's motion.
Second by Mary Lynn. Any discussion? All those in favor? 7-0. We have one other item.
Yes, please. Also asking for approval, please, that Tom Felis and Tim Poor, CDL licensure program adjunct instructors receive the stipend.
Okay. We'll entertain a motion to approve that.
So moved.
I have a motion by Pat. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Cheryl. Any discussion?
I have a question. So is that stipend because they're adjunct instructors or for preparation after hours for lesson plans and things like that?
Yes, that's for preparation and time spent outside of their regular job role to be prepared for those classes and to be fully licensed to teach CDL.
Any additional discussion? All those in favor? All those opposed? Okay, 6-1. So next we move down under support staff. We have some recommendations.
Yes, please. Asking for approval. Phyllis Apsley, part-time bus aide. Sarah Black, middle school administrative assistant. Ellen Geringer, Jennings County Middle School assistant volleyball coach. Penny Hargsheimer, Jennings County Middle School custodian. Derek Hill, middle school girls soccer coach. Haley Johnson, middle school sped parapro. Heather Locke, Jennings County School Corporation OT, a change from 185 days per year to 149 days.
Thomas Mellencamp, middle school assistant football coach. Dragan Mauser, SCE part-time custodian. Melissa Weiner, part-time bus aide. Pilar Rivera, Scipio elementary custodian. Sandra Whitney, high school sped parapro.
I entertain a motion to approve that group of recommendations as read.
So moved.
I have a motion by Kurt. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Cheryl. Any discussion?
I have a question about that one too. So the OT position that we're moving from 185 to 149, is that because we need less days, or is the person just
The
requesting?
class load, or the workload has decreased, the caseload.
Any additional discussion? All those in favor? 7-0. Then we have some additional recommendations.
Yes, asking for approval pending their hiring requirements, please. J.R. Douglas, middle school volunteer soccer coach. Abby Ertl, high school assistant volleyball coach. John Simmons, middle school volunteer assistant girls soccer coach. Levi Ross, high school sped parapro. And then the list of JCSC youth football program volunteer coaches that include Jerry Correa, Crystal Danford, Ryan Hinton, Jason Judd, Brandon Kendall, Jared McGuire, Rusty McCowan, Owen Miller, Levi Peacock, Dustin Roller, Justin Snyder, Nehemiah Scruggs, Tyler Stock, Gary Tungett, and Michael Watts.
We'll entertain a motion to approve those additional recommendations as read.
So moved.
Motion by Travis. Do I have a second? Second by Mary Lynn. Any discussion? All those in favor? 7-0. Which puts us down to finances and
Yes,
donations.
asking board approval of the following donations. Cummins and United Way Worldwide, 250 backpacks filled with school supplies. Premier Sports, small coolers, and Jennings County high school hats, or Jennings County school hats. Jennings County Youth Football Program, donations in memory of Earl Taggart. Denny and Katie Walker. Pam, Ron and Patty Kentner. Jerry and Victoria Strickland. Pearson Body Shop. Scott and Becky Davis. Chuck and Jimmy Berkey. Janet DeBoer Price. Keith Price. Kyle Price. Andrew Price. And Emily Zonka. Ask the board for approval.
Entertain a motion.
So moved.
Motion by Pat. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Cheryl. Any discussion? All those in favor? 7-0. Nice to see those in memory. Yep. Next on the agenda, we have the 2026 JCSC budget first presentation.
Yes, all right, we will just blaze right into this. All right, next up, next slide, please. This is the calendar. We've got first presentation tonight, second presentation on the 21st, third presentation if need be on the 4th, and then the public hearing on the 18th, and the adoption of the budget on the 2nd. And obviously those dates are wrong on the bottom 3 because those are actually 2025. But the single day's right, the year's wrong. Next page. All right, just so everyone, just a short recap. The budget is made up from the education side is one fund is supported by sales tax and income tax. That's your basic grant, and it supports the education fund. I'm estimating it's going to be roughly $32.3 million. The property tax funds two accounts, debt service and operations, and that's going to be approximately 14.2. And there are additional funds supported with multiple grant sources also. What we're advertising currently for version 1, first reading is education fund, 35 million, debt service, 4.5 million, operations, 13 million, and rainy day, 500 million, which is roughly $53 million. You advertise high. Is this the way it's always been done in Indiana? Actually come in more like 48 million, but you always advertise high just to protect yourself from that standpoint. From an education fund standpoint, these are the basic things that happen out of education. You've got the salaries and benefits, instructional supplies, support staff, area vocational tuition, travel and PD for curriculum development, health services, library cost, and athletic and coaches. Out of operations, you've got the board, all the business operations, your insurance, all your utilities, all your facility maintenance, all of your transportation, and also the admin cost of the vocational school also, and all your licensees and all the expenses with school buses. Debt service, you're taking care of your lease holding payments, common school loan, general obligation bonds, and any interest you have on temporary loans. So it comes out of the debt service fund. From the cash balance standpoint, you can see that we dropped down about $400,000 this year from December 31st of 24 from December 31st of 23, about a $400 spend down from, you can see it's slightly less than, we really spent down quite a bit from 22, 23, so not quite as drastic in 23 to 24. The next slide just shows the visual of that. You'll see that you had a slight uptick in the operations side. That's mainly due to pulled back spending. And the education dropped slightly, but it's not a huge amount there. That's also due to not quite, we started making our corrections. This is prior to that. You got the better part of the year before that happened, because this again is cash balance as of December 31st, 24, not June of this year. Rainy day fund, just so everybody knows, it's been setting at 2.775 for the last couple years. It was created in 2005, and that's our current balance. We haven't pulled from it in, I believe, in 2 years. Debt service budget, this is what I'm anticipating the debt payments to be. Now this is with an estimate in there. The actual is around 3.9, but I've also got the anticipated payment for the 2025 GEO in there that we are currently in the process of doing. So on the education side, we're back to the original screen. We're going to be advertising 35. I anticipate the actual will be about 32.3. And the next one on ops, we're advertising 13. I anticipate it to be about 11. And which brings us to, this is one we had in there every year, and this is basically just updated. This takes a little bit of a different turn, and you'll see me probably bring some more detail back on V2 on this one, how the AV affects our budget. This has nothing to do with Senate Bill 1. This is just to do with how the AV works. If the AV was to drop 15%, you'd see we go from the 1.1, which is our 25, down to about 992. And what that would do is create a loss of about $1.4 million, just with an AV drop. Now, Senate Bill 1, which next time I'll bring in some more details on that, that has another layer of effect to it. But just in general, so people understand how AV affects it. This shows where AV is anticipated to be in 26. Now, typically this slide would show an increase because in the past you use a 5-year average, and as you can see, the last 5 years it's ramped up. But with Senate Bill 1, we already anticipate that going down. So I use the numbers off Policy Analytics estimate of where they feel this will be versus our historical average. This is last year's advertised versus actual. We advertised the 1.196 or 1.96, which you can see is obviously high, and we came in at 1.18, which basically matched our 2024. So 25 and 24 are pretty much the same. The 2026, based on the normal way I calculate, we're looking at an advertisement of 1.88, and the estimated actual is going to be about 1.24. 2025 cap levies, debt service has no cap, operations obviously does have a cap, and education is not based on the levy. And just a recap of the numbers, this matches slide number 3, I believe it is, where it shows what we'll be advertising as the budgeted amounts. And lastly, property tax update. This is just general property tax information. Assessed value can decline after recessions, obviously, and as property values and new construction reduces. Property value increase in 2025 will be assessed in 26 for taxes in 27. The whole purpose of showing this is just that slowness of how when something does happen, it takes a little while for it to work its way through. The maximum levy growth quotient is set again this year at 4% max. And if the levy rises more than assessed value, the tax rate will rise. But the key to this one, this one, the levy will not rise based on, Senate Bill 1. We will see, not the levy, I'm sorry, the assessed value will not rise. We will definitely see that go down. The levy rising or the rate rising is what's going to sort of filter its way out over the next couple presentations. And our current rate's 1.17. And the last slide just shows that's the same as last year's. We're trying to protect our tax rate. That's our hope. Advertise high and then advertise a low AV and adopt the operations fund to get the maximum rate. Any questions on V1 or presentation number 1? All right, that was number 1 for the regular budget. Now we'll move on to the next one, which is the capital project budget. In your packets, you're going to see the detail, which is the specific jobs and the specific buildings. But at the high level, we'll go through the next slide, please, which has the exact same adoption schedule, except I got the dates, the years right on this one. And so they all should line up. Next slide, please. And what your detail proves out is from a capital asset standpoint, which is basically in this plan in case any of the major items break. A bus actually breaks down and we have to buy a bus, or we have to buy a maintenance vehicle, or we have to buy a mower. Those are all things, all that totals up to 520. That doesn't mean we're spending it. It just means there's a possibility if something goes south in the major hit areas of the of equipment. And then for 26, 27, 28, you can see them laid out there. These numbers you're going to notice these are a little bit skewed from years past. I've got quite a bit more in 2026. That's a product of the 2024 GEO bond, which has the safety and security entrances on it. So you'll see that that's a fair chunk of that as opposed to the normal. Normally it's around $2 million. You see it's increased quite a bit because of that. And then in 27, you've got, I went ahead and threw the projects that we're looking for with the 2025 GEO bond are in this one, which is the Brush Creek HVAC. That number was bumped up. I previously had that lower on the list. We bumped it up, obviously, because of the bonding issue. And then there's 8.9. Again, we all know we're not going to be able to get all this stuff done, but these are the things that are identified as projects that could be done. Any questions on the capital project plan? All right. Lastly, we've got the bus replacement plan. And we're going to find out if I got the dates right on this. We're good to go on this one. Slide 2 shows the exact same adoption calendar. Slide 3, you've got the detail in your packet on this too. This has to do with the, well, I went and messed that one up too. I got 2025 on there. I'm sorry about that. These all should say 377. So basically what we've got here is the buses. It's our current bus situation right now with the loan that we currently have, the 2 loans that we currently have, and is going to be 377 for 2026. Those numbers are going to set that way because we're going to have 3 more years on the first set of buses, and then we'll have all 5 years on the next set of buses. And then there's the plan in your packet shows that in 3 years for years 2028 and 2029, or 2029 and 2030, we will be getting more buses to backfill the older buses in the system, which is what the whole purpose of this plan is, which the detail is what actually gets submitted to the state. This is just a high-level view of it. Any questions on the bus replacement plan? All right. That is all I got.
All of those items, again, were in inform. If you have questions, please feel free to reach out to them. Next, under relations, we have a contract that needs approved.
Yeah, the Indiana State Department of Education has switched all IEPs and ILPs to PowerSchool. So we're required to use that. That's not something that's costing us anything. But we have got contract to go with our 504s with PowerSchool as well, so that everything is synced together. So I'm asking for approval to accept the contract to add PowerSchool for 504s.
So moved.
Motion by Travis, I have a second by Mary Lynn. Any discussion? All those in favor? 7-0. Which brings us down to other.
I just have a thank you for all of our students and our staff and our parents and our law enforcement partners, because we've had a wonderful first 2 days of school, and it's taken a whole community effort, and it's been great to see. So thank you to everyone involved, and looking forward to a great school year.
Hearing nothing else, we'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion by Pat, do I have a second? Second by Kurt, all those in favor? 7-0, meeting adjourned.